Hello and welcome. My name is Gary Lammy, and I am starting my very own podcast. I'm calling it Amateur Hour. The essence of the podcast is I will be going over Blender, After Effects, Premiere Pro tutorials, and judging them based on how easy they are to follow, how much time and effort is needed to go into them, and I will be also replicating the process as we go along. So you'll be able to see my work on my screen as I follow the tutorial alongside with you guys. Why I started this podcast? Well, I wanted to make sure that I had something to turn in. So I'm having a class right now, and it's called Entertainment Podcasting. And you make your own podcast, and we're going to be releasing weekly episodes. So I wanted to do one that I could find myself useful on top of making it entertaining for multiple people or at least a general audience. So, a lot of people in my major are looking to be working in film or something of the sorts, maybe going into editing or VFX artist or something like that. So, I have found that there are a lot of tutorials out there that show you individual things and how to do it. Um, like one that we're going to be watching today, but I haven't seen a lot of they call themselves professionals, right? And I'm sure they are, but I haven't seen a lot of people cater to the amateur filmmaker, the one who is just getting started, the one who wants to know how something is or why something is in a certain app, right? So that's where I think I'm going to be useful to you people because I am also an amateur. I don't know all the techniques of these programs. I really don't know most of the techniques in these programs. So I will be learning alongside you guys and judging the difficulty along the way. That being said, I do have some experience in them. I'm not going to say I'm adept because I very, very much think that I am not close to that. Um, but I do have some background information. So if you see me click here or there, it's probably a shortcut that I had already memorized. If you really want the beginning tutorial on how to do everything, I suggest going onto YouTube and just watching one of those 3 to 4 hour breakdown videos on how to master all the basics in the specific app you're looking into. Because I will not be doing that. I don't have that knowledge in my head, let alone to try to teach to somebody else. So, what I'm going to be doing is going along with a tutorial, talking about what I think is good about it, what I think is bad about it, what's hard, what's easy, and then from there on, just judging it as it's going. So you can see on the screen we have a right side and left side division. On my right side is the app Blender. It's a 3D modeling and video editing software that is free, by the way. And on the left is a YouTube clip by AlaskanFx, and it's Create Cinematic Procedural Planets with Atmospheres in Blender tutorial. And then you could see people commenting and such. This is the video we're going to be watching today. It's about 19 minutes long. I'm going to be pausing in and out to make sure I can keep up because, like I said, I'm going to be needing to do this myself at the same time. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. If that's what our product's going to look like, that is awesome. I like that one. That's like a Marsy planet. I can see they all have a sort of like cloud base that kind of looks similar. So I'm not seeing quite the unique diversity besides color range, which is fine. This seems like a simple enough tutorial.
What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be going over how you can make some absolutely epic procedural planets in Blender and how to set up a good space scene, and finally I'm going to go over a few compositing tips that are really easy to implement and can absolutely take your work to the next level. So I'll hop into my...
So he already said we're going to be making a planet, but I did not know we would also be getting a space environment. Now, you can make a planet in Blender by itself. That does not mean it's going to look like it's in space because you have no background. So he is actually giving us a background that we can use.
My scene, like always, switch over to cycles, GPU compute.
These are different render engines. So mine's on Eevee at the moment. I will be going to cycles. GPU and CPU compute. Some computers have GPUs, which are graphic processing units. They're going to be what you want to use, especially if you have a good one in your computer. If you don't have a GPU at all, you would have to, of course, click CPU compute, which will take longer. some of these softwares are intensive on your computer, so just be aware of that.
Compute 128 render sample.
Render samples, I got 1024, so we'll be fine.
And also my color management to high contrast. Now, I'm also going to be using volumetric clouds in this. Oh, okay, let's just do high contrast. Okay, so I'm going to click this volumes drop down, and I'm going to set my step rate to 0.1. I'll also lower my max steps to 128. This just adds a nice level of extra detail and realism to any volume you use, but you do have to be careful because this will drastically increase your render times if you have a lot of volumetrics going on. So with that done, let's delete the default cube, delete the default light, Shift A, and add in, you're never going to guess, a UV sphere. UV sphere. Set the segments to 64 and the rings to 32, and right click and shade smooth. Now, usually I like to work with like real world size measurements, but obviously you can't really do that with a planet because it would make Blender really mad to deal with numbers that big. So I'm just going to scale this up by 150, and then I'm going to click object up here and apply my scale. Now I'll hop over into our shading editor, zoom out again, and I'm going to click on our camera, come down here to the transforms, and set all these values to
0.
All right, so we have scaled up our sphere here, and as you can see, it is 100, and they go by meters, so it's 150 meters all around. Yeah, we're going to now be going to the shader editor. That is a place where you can give your creations, such as cubes, spheres, whatever you make in a 3D render, you give it its textures, meaning what it's going to look like in the end. But yeah.
with numbers that big. So I'm just going to scale this up by 150. And then I'm going to click object up here and apply my scale. Now I'll hop over into our shading editor, zoom out again, and I'm going to click on our camera, come down here to the transforms, and set all these values to 0, and then set my Y to something like 3000. So right now we're moving the camera to a specific location to get a good view of what is going to be our planet. You see with the camera 1,000 meters. Where would that be? I have no idea. So right now I'm just going to be locking the camera to my view. That means I can choose what I look at. I feel like I'm upside down. So right now, I'm going to do it from a higher vantage point just because this is what the scene I want to look like is going to turn out into. But yeah. Now I can hop over into my camera view, and one thing we also have to do is adjust this clip start and clip end. If you set your clip start to 1 meter and your clip end to 10,000, that'll make sure we can actually see our sphere. Transforms, and set all these values to 0, and then set my Y to something like 3000. Now I can hop over into my camera view, and one thing we also have to do is adjust this clip start and clip end. So to adjust the clip start and clip end, if you set your clip start to 1 meter and your clip end to 10,000, that'll make sure we can actually see our sphere because it'll be nice and in range. Now the reason I also set this camera so far away is because most of the time when you're dealing with like any sort of pictures taken in space or rendered for like movie scenes in space, they're going to be taken basically with like a telescope. And so if we set our focal length to something like 300 millimeters, that's going to give us a much more accurate result. And if we hop back here and set our X rotation to -90 and our Z rotation to 0, you'll see we've got our sphere in our view. But if you look over here in the top right corner, we're actually upside down relative to the coordinate axis. So I'm going to set my Y rotation to 180, so that way the positive Z is up and negative Z is down. Now I'm also going to slide my camera up on the Z axis a bit, so that way we just have this sort of over the horizon shot for our scene. With that, let's hop over into render view. And I'm going to set my background color to black for now.
So he made a good point. Space things are taken with telescopes, meaning that they're going to have a focal length that is higher, meaning that things are going to look more elongated and less flat because it's taking light from very far sources. So yeah, I guess now we're going to move on to the actual world building of this part so that we can get a good background and lighting setup. I like this tutorial so far. It's been pretty simple to follow, and what I really like about it is that he puts these. If you look at my mouse right now, he puts the controls that he is pressing in the moment, so you can physically do what he is doing at the moment he's doing it. It really helps with shortcuts because sometimes you don't know a shortcut and he tells you to do something real quick and you're like, how do I figure that out? He gives you the ability to figure that out. That's why I kind of like all of AlaskanFx's tutorials. So let's keep moving on.
Then Shift A and add in a light, make it a sunlight.
Shift A has always been add. You can also go to add by pressing add up here and then light. I think he chose sun. Look at that. Look at that. It already looks great. Look at the shading towards the bottom. I love Blender because it's, first of all, it's free, and the only other free program that I really like just as much that I don't use is Unreal Engine. You can do a lot with Unreal Engine. I've just been doing Blender, so I know Blender more, and I don't want to start Unreal Engine without mastering Blender first.
I have no specific reason, but I think that is a valid point I should talk about. And it's an alternate option. Really bright. So I'm going to set my strength something like 15, and this is actually much less realistic than what you'd see in real life, but it does look a lot prettier in my opinion, so that is up to you what you want to do. Now I'm noticing I can still kind of see the edges of my sphere, so I'm going to click on it again and add a subdivision surface, and I'll just set both of these to 1. Now with that going to modify some subdivision surface, honestly don't know what that does, but we're going to see what it does. What did he say it was? I don't know what he said, let me go back. Something like 15, and this is actually much less realistic than what you'd see in real life, but it does look a lot prettier in my opinion, so that is up to you what you want to do. Now I'm noticing I can still kind of see the edges of my sphere, so I'm going to click on it again and add a subdivision surface. Subdivision surface, there we go. And I'll just set both of these to 1. Now with that done, let's click and add a new material. I already did that when I went down to the shell. Adding a musgrave texture.
So we're in the shading editor now. So the shading editor is what I was talking about to you earlier. It's going to decide what this planet is going to look like. There are a lot of things you can go into it. A lot of it's very technical, so I suggest watching a tutorial about each of these things. I still don't know everything about it, but you can see that some have names like emissions here, and you see that this thing has emissions there. That means like there's an interconnection there. This obviously did not work directly because it's red, so you can see I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, let's continue going with what he is telling us to do.
Just plug this into the base color, and set your roughness to something very close to 1. When you're dealing with something at the scale of planets, it's pretty much impossible to get something perfectly shiny and reflective, so a high roughness value is going to be much more accurate. Slide this over and set it to ridge multifractal, and crank up your detail, and lower your dimension to something like 0.3, and then crank up this gain value. Now you can see this gives us a really nice sort of rocky,
Cracked earth sort of material.
Oh,
But
I like
if we
this
press-
one already. So I cranked up my detail. I like that already. The scale changes the different input that I have. I like the one I started with though, so I'm going to click Control Z and go back. His looks a little bit more fine. I wonder what that is.
Control T to bring up our mapping and texture coordinate nodes. We can actually distort this to make it look way more realistic.
So I don't have that. I think that must be a plugin that you add. So I cannot click Control T and get what he's getting. So I'm going to have to look it up myself. He has a texture coordinate. Boom. And he also has a mapping node. Those, I'm guessing, work in conjunction to figure out where some of these textures are going to be located. But all our values are already the same, so I'm not too worried about it. Oops, there you go.
Realistic even still. Shift D on your Musgrave texture, slide it down here, Control T again.
Okay, so I'm going to just do it like this, because he's doing a bunch of shortcuts that I do not have equipped at the moment. But I did a Shift E, which I'm guessing is duplicate.
Shift A, and let's add in a mix RGB. I'll plug that in here, and then I'm going to plug this height value. We got a, we need a mix.
Mix RGB. That's going to go between the first. So what I like about this is that you can select multiple things and drag them together. It's looking like this. Oops. Go back. Unselect everything. Select this one. It's looking like this goes right here. Boom. And then this one, this group, goes into color 2. That is insane.
Into the bottom color slot. This makes for a great...
I love the way this looks. But it does not look quite like his. I wonder where the differences are. I'm guessing it might be in like the detail and dimensions and stuff, because like My details all the way up. Mine's at 0.4, 2. Oh, my gain is different than his. I see. I think I like it like this. Yeah, that looks awesome. So far, this tutorial is going great. We may not have the exact same results, so in that aspect of it, it's looking a little shady, but in the final results we're going to be getting, I like the way this looks already.
Also.
But for this case, I'm going to lower my scale down to something like a 0.7, maybe a 0.8-ish. And this just gives us a nice ratio of like large detail, medium detail, and really fine small scale detail. You can also adjust the dimension value down here to give yourself some really interesting effects. I kind of like where that's sitting, and so what I'm going to do is add in a color ramp. Now for this particular case, I'm going to create sort of just like a blue ice sort of create some texture also. But for this case, I'm going to lower my scale down to something like a 0.7, maybe a 0.8-ish. And this just gives us a nice ratio of...
Color ramp is going to actually help us get the color and depth of whites and blacks as well as RGBs. I really like the color ramp because instead of it just being like, oh, choose a broad color and it does something, you know, it makes this whole circle pink or blue or whatever. This one gives it some nuances in between shadows.
Like
large detail, medium detail, and really fine small scale detail. You can also adjust the dimension value down here to give yourself some really interesting effects. I kind of like where that's sitting, and so what I'm going to do is add in a color ramp. Now for this particular case, I'm going to create sort of just like a blue ice sort of planet.
I'm making, he's making a blue ice planet. I'm going to be making a fire planet because I didn't mention this earlier, but throughout each episode, I'm hoping that I add on to the same project we're going to be doing, and in the end, making a little short video for people to enjoy. So I'm not going to spoil what it's going to be, but as you can see, it has something to do with space. So we're going to be in space, making a little short video, and hopefully it comes out great with these tutorials. But yeah, so mine's going to start off as a lava planet.
You can do whatever you want with this. It's super customizable, and honestly, it's just super relaxing to play around with different color palettes. So again, just have fun with this and see what you can create, see what you like.
I don't know about this shade. Because what is lava? Lava's like an orange. An orange red. I like that. I've got some glare here I'm not a fan of, but we'll figure something out here in a second. Let's turn the sun down a bit so I can see better. So right now, I'm trying to figure out a good ratio for my colors to be for this. For this sun planet that I have, I hate this glare. I really do. But for now, I kind of like the way this looks. I'm not 100% sold on it yet, though. Maybe turn this to like a...
Let me make this the orange one. Make this the red one.
It looks more dusty than fiery, I think. That's pink, that's why. Pink is not what I wanted. I want red. I think that doesn't look too bad. I think that looks good. Let's continue with this video.
I like something like that. And so the next thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add in this hue saturation value and lower my saturation just a touch. Something like 0.8 should be good. Then Shift A and let's add in a mix RGB. And I'm going to switch this to add. And switch this bottom color to... What did he say to me? Saturation just a touch. Something like 0.8 should be good. Then Shift A and let's set it in Mix RGB. And I'm going to switch this to Add. And switch this bottom color to something atmospheric, like what you think your sky should be. Then Shift A and add in a layer weight. You set this blend to something around 0.6. Then Shift A, add in a math node. And plug this for now into the top value. Switch this to divide by 2. And plug this into the factor. This sort of influences the color of our planet in the same way a sky realistically would. And I'm actually going to add in a color ramp again here. And just lower my white values down to something like a 0.5. As you I realistically would. And I'm actually going to add in a color ramp again here. And just lower my white values down to something like a 0.5.
I already like the way this is going.
As
The
you
planet
can see,
looks
as I
ominous.
drag,
He is. Yeah, I like the way that looks. So right now, we've added a few things into the shader monitor. It's really like, I think I find it quite easy just because it's like Legos. You just plug and plug and plug and plug and plug and plug, and it works out better for me at least because I don't have to type anything. I don't want to be coding textures, you know. I feel like that's a little too much for me. So plug and play type things all day, all day.
We get more and more sort of like diffusion happening toward the edges of our planet, but I like something like that, so I'm just going to leave that as is. And now one last thing you can do for your material is, it's very subtle, but if you add in a bump node and plug your Musgrave texture height output into the height value here, and then plug your normal into the normal here, you can see that gives us this bumping effect. Now for real life planets, it's a very, very subtle into the height value here, and then plug your normal into the normal
here, you can see that
That is awesome. That puts so much texture into this. Oh my goodness. This tutorial gets better and better by each second. That makes my planet look insane. Wow. All right. So right now, that bump texture really did a lot. I had no idea what it did at all. So that is impressive. You can see even up close in detail, it's like, it's got some crazy ridges there. Sorry. I'm just trying to make sense of it all. Right now, we have zero background. We have just, oh, that looks like a creepy face. Look at that. I don't know, that freaked me out. So yeah, we're going to be eventually making a background to make it look like it's in space and not on this little grid thing that we have here. I'm still not a fan of that glare that's at the top of it. It's like a shiny head. But yeah, let's go back to the rendered view, which is what we're going to be staring at. And back to the shader tab and see where he's going to lead us from here.
bumping.
effect. Now for real life planets, it's a very, very subtle amount. So much so that you theoretically shouldn't need any. But again, we're going for pretty and cinematic, not quite realistic. So I like something around a 0.042, and that looks pretty good to me. So with that, I'm going to switch back into my layout, and Shift D, my sphere, and I'm going to scale this up by 1.004. Then I'll hop back into my shader editor, and I'm going to delete this material off of it and add in a new one. Let's go back to something we said.
Height
He was going a little quick for me there.
Height value here.
I'm guessing this is where we're going to be doing the atmosphere part, or like
You can see that gives us this bumping effect. Now, for real life planets,
I don't know,
it's a
maybe give it less edge.
very subtle amount. So much so that you theoretically.
But so far so good. He is just going a little bit quick for me. I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way, but for this being a relatively easy tutorial, I think he's doing a great job.
Theoretically shouldn't need any. But again, we're going for pretty and cinematic, not quite realistic. So I like something around a 0.042, and that looks pretty good to me. So with that, I'm going to switch back into my layout, and Shift D, my sphere, and I'm going to scale this up by 1.004. Then I'll hop back into my shader editor, and I'm going to delete this material off of it and add back into my layout, and Shift D, my sphere, and I'm going to scale this up by 1.004. Then I'll hop back into my shader editor, and I'm going to delete this material off of it and add in a new one. Delete the principled BSDF, Shift A, and add in a principled volume. And I'm going to scale this up by 1.004. Then I'll hop back into my shader editor, and I'm going to delete this material off of it and add in a new one. Delete the principled BSDF, Shift A, and add in a principled volume. Plug that in there, and then Shift A, bring in a Musgrave texture, Control T. A Musgrave texture, there we go.
Yeah, this is going to give it a duller effect, I think. It's going to help us out with making it look a little bit more realistic when it comes to color and light bouncing off of it. Texture coordinates. I need to go ahead and get these shortcuts installed. I'll look up how to do that later. But it seems like it's going a lot quicker for him because I'm not having to look up each individual one for myself.
Slide this over, slide your texture coordinate over again, switch this to Ridge Multifractal, and switch your Musgrave to 4D. Now I'm going to plug this into my density, and I'll play around with my detail and dimension values. There we go, and then again, you're just going to set your gain to something absolutely huge, and I'm also going to scale down this texture. Something around there ought to be good. Then Shift A, and I'm just going to bring in a regular old noise texture, and a mix RGB again. Plug that in.
There.
I clicked white noise. You got to be careful because when you do search it up by name, there could be multiple that look the same. Noise texture and white noise are not the same thing. He said a noise texture and something else.
And plug our color output into.
Oh, mix RGB. I see. Whoops. That was not what it's supposed to happen. Alright, so then we add a mix RGB. Put it in between here and here. Then I'm guessing our color is going to go into our color 2. Okay, it's looking a little different. Change that to 40.
I'll leave this on detail, and I'm going to roughen this a little bit. Now, if I added a map range node, I want to make it so there's sort of like clouds, but there's also just a general atmospheric haze caused by like the air, as you can see. Exactly. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set my from min value to something like 0.45, so that way we isolate the clouds, and I'll set my to min value to something like 0.04. And this to min value will be the value of like your general air-based haze, and this max value is going to be the density of like your clouds. So I'll set that just a little bit higher, then I'm going to Shift A and add in a color ramp. Switch this to constant, and plug your map range output into the factor, and plug this color into the color of your principal volume. Let's go back for a second so I can rewatch that. And this to min value will be the value of like your general air-based haze, and this max value is going to be the density of like your clouds. So I'll set that just a little bit higher, then I'm going to Shift A and add in a color ramp. Switch this to constant, and plug your map range output into the factor, and plug this color into the color of your principal volume. Oh. I got it now. As you can see, we sort of have like a mask for the clouds versus the regular atmosphere. So I'm just going to drag these until I feel like I've got my clouds decently masked. And then I'm going to change this black value to something more bluish in my case. This value will just be like your general atmospheric haze. And now if you just slide this W value, you can play around with this to get any sort of cloud texture you like. I actually like that one. I just randomly selected. Oh yeah, that's the easiest way to customize your planets is just to slide these W values on your noise textures. And I'll actually jump back real quick to my planet texture. And I'll set both of these to 4D as well. And now you can see we have a randomness slider for both our material on our planet and for our clouds. So before I render, I'm just going to alter my sun a little bit. I'm going to rotate it on the x-axis a touch, maybe alter it on the y.
Ooh.
And just give us a bit of a.
So I'm going to go ahead and fix a few things without him, because I do want to go ahead and keep some of the amount of planets that we had, amount of clouds we had. I like that one. Yeah.
Crescent, so that way we have some light sort of shooting through. Click to my planet texture, and I'll set both of these to 4D as well. And now you can see we have a randomness slider for both our material on our planet and for our clouds. So before I render, I'm just going to alter my sun a little bit. I'm going to rotate it on the x-axis a touch, maybe alter it on the y. And just give us a bit of a crescent, so that way we have some light sort of shooting through these volumetrics a little bit more. Just makes it look a little bit neater in my opinion. And that looks pretty good. So the last thing I want to do is I want to click over into my world over here.
And I want to add sort of like a
So if you look up here, you have line style, object, and world. Object is what these are. These are objects. World is what the background is. So this is the background. We're going to be changing it now to make it look like it's in space, is my guess, because he said that earlier. But yeah, so if you guys are confused why you don't see background and you see principled, it's because you're in the object tab and not in the world tab. But yeah, let me go ahead and adjust the sun a bit more. The sun is still a little bright for me. I'm going to deal with it for now.
Each roll starry background. So if we grab a Voronoi texture and switch this to smooth F1, Shift A, grab a color ramp. Smooth F1, grab a color ramp. And plug this distance value into here and this color value into our background color. And then drag this scale way up, set it to something huge like 4,000. And if you want to, you can come over here to your scene settings and check render region. So that way it'll only deal with stuff that's inside your camera frame. Then come back down to your color ramp, slide up the black slider a little bit, and slide the white slider all the way to the left. Now you can see we have a nice sort of densely packed star background. And I'm going to set these stars up to really, really tiny. That looks really good to me. But one last thing I do want to add is a bit of like nebulous gas, sort of like if you were looking at the Milky Way. So I'm going to again grab our friend the Musgrave texture, and this time I'm just going to set it to multifractal, Control T, Shift A, and let's grab a mix.
That Control T would have really saved my life right about now, because I am not getting that at all. I understand what it's doing. It's so fast, and I do not have it equipped for me. So that sucks. But other than that, that's more my fault than anything, though. I'm not trying to blame the guy. And then he adds a mix RGB. He scales up to a 2.8. I went too far. And then he said he grabbed a math. I'm guessing it's going to be a way to... I know math textures either... they determine how much of the effect is added to the background. So if they want less or more. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stop it there because I don't plan on doing anything with the images right now. Let's go ahead and do full screen. So right now, I've got this. My universe looks red and evil and covered in stars. Yeah, my planet right now is insane.
I am enjoying this.
All right, so that is our procedurally generated planet. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the video with me and watching me break it down a little bit for you. As of right now, this is the beginning of my video for the following project that I'm working on. It's going to be a space theme project, and that is the planet we made for it with a nice background. So I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, and I will see you guys in the next one.